Hello 8th graders and happy Tuesday. Yesterday we talked about how to find the equation from a line when we have the graph. Today we're going to talk about how to find the equation when all we have is 2 points. Let's get started. Let's look at our do now. Number 1, the two triangles are similar. What's the value of x? First, what's the scale factor to go from the triangle on the left to the triangle on the right? The scale factor is 1/4. 3 is 1/4 of 12. So what is the value of x if I multiply 20 times 1/4? The value of x is 5. Now look at number 2. Is figure B a dilation of figure A? How do you know? Go ahead and answer that question now. Figure B is not a dilation of figure A. Every side has not increased in length. You can see that the top and the right sides did not change in length. So therefore it is not a dilation. These shapes are not similar. Now let's do another. Draw the dilation of the triangle with a scale factor of 1/5 and a center of dilation at U. So U is going to stay the same, and the other side lengths are going to be reduced by a scale factor of 1/5. So let's find the lengths of the original sides. What's the length of UV? It's 15. What's the length of UT? It's 5. If I multiply by a scale factor of 1/5, what will be the new length of U prime, V prime? It will be 3. What will be the new length of U prime, T prime? It will be 1. Go ahead and draw that dilation in now. Check to see that your dilation looks like mine. UVT has been reduced by a scale factor of 1/5. Now let's do another one. What is the slope of the line that passes through 0, 3, and 3, 9? Remember, slope can be found using y2 minus y1, the vertical change, over x2 minus x1, the horizontal change. To find the slope, I can subtract 9 minus 3 over 3 minus 0. What's 9 minus 3? It's 6. What's 3 minus 0? It's 3. Divide 6 by 3 to find the slope as a whole number. The slope is 2. Now let's look at the triangle in number 5. What's the value of x? The value of x can be found because the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So first I need to add 24 plus 74. Then I can subtract from 180. What's 24 plus 74? It's 98. What's 180 minus 98? It's 82. X is 82 degrees. Now let's find the measure of angle A for number 6. First, what kind of angles are A and 130? They are same side interior angles. That means that they're supplementary. I can find the value of A by subtracting 180 minus 130. What's the value of A? What's 180 minus 130? It's 50. Today we're going to write more equations for lines using 2 points. The slope is the steepness of a line or the rate of change. It is represented by the letter M. Slope can be found by dividing the vertical change by the horizontal change and writing the result as a fraction. We can use the formula m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The y-intercept is the y-coordinate when x equals 0, or the point where the line crosses the y-axis. If we know the y-intercept b and the slope m, then we can write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. Y equals m, the slope, times x plus b. If we know the slope and a point, we can plug in x and y to solve for b. Let's do an example. A line passes through the points 1, 4 and 2, 6. So I can label 1 as x1, 4 as y1, 2 as x2, and 6 as y2. Remember, slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What's 6 minus 4? It's 2. What's 2 minus 1? It's 1. So the slope is 2. I know that to write an equation in slope-intercept form, I can use y equals mx plus b. Here, I can use 4 as the y and 1 as the x. That's a point on the line. I can plug in 2 as the slope. So I can write y, 4, equals m2 times x, 1, plus b. Now I can solve the equation for b. First, I can multiply 2 times 1. What's 2 times 1? It's 2. So 4 equals 2 plus b. What should I do now to isolate b? I can subtract 2 from both sides. When I do that, 2 and negative 2 cancel out, and I can solve 4 minus 2. What's 4 minus 2? It's 2. So b equals 2. Now I can write my equation by plugging in m and b. Y equals 2, the slope, x, plus 2. Let's do another. A line passes through the points 2, 1, and 5, 10. Let's label x1, y1, x2, and y2. x1 is 2, and y1 is 1. They're the x and y coordinates of my first ordered pair. y1, x2 is 5, and y2 is 10. They're the x and y coordinates of my second ordered pair. Remember that slope can be found by subtracting y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's plug all of those numbers in. y2 is 10, y1 is 1. x2 is 5, x1 is 2. What's 10 minus 1? It's 9. What's 5 minus 2? It's 3. I can divide 9 divided by 3 to find the slope. So what's the slope? What's 9 divided by 3? The slope of our line is 3. Now let's solve for the y-intercept. Remember, y equals mx plus b. I can select one of my ordered pairs to plug in as x and y. 2 is the x-coordinate and 1 is the y-coordinate. So I can write y1 equals m3 times 2 plus b. First, I can multiply 3 times 2. What's 3 times 2? It's 6. So 1 equals 6 plus b. How can I isolate b? I can subtract 6 from both sides. When I do that, what's the result? What's b equal to? What's 1 minus 6? b is equal to negative 5. Now I can write my equation in slope-intercept form by plugging in the slope and the y-intercept. y equals 3x minus 5. Let's do two more together, and then you can try a few on your own. A line passes through the points 0, 1, and 2, 7. First, we need to find the slope. Let's label x1, y1, x2, and y2. To find the slope, I can use the formula m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Go ahead and find the slope now. What's the slope of this line as a whole number or proper or improper fraction? The slope of this line is 3. Now I can plug in an x, a y, and my slope to solve for b. Let's use 0, 1. So 1y equals m, 3, times x, 0, plus b. What's b? Well, 3 times 0 is 0, so 1 equals 0 plus b. So b is 1. Now I can write the equation. What is the equation of this line in slope-intercept form? It's y equals 3x plus 1. Let's do one more together before you try one on your own. A line passes through the points 2, 1, and 5, 4. First, label x1, y1, x2, and y2. Now, find the slope. Remember, slope is the change in y, y2 minus y1, over the change in x, x2 minus x1. Go ahead and find the slope by plugging in those numbers now. The slope is 1. Now I can plug in numbers to solve for b, the y-intercept. So I could say that 1 equals 1 times 2 plus b. Go ahead and solve that equation for b now. b equals negative 1. Now I can write my equation in slope-intercept form. Go ahead and enter your equation. Y equals 1x minus 1, or just y equals x minus 1. A line passes through the points 2, 5, and 4, 6. What is the slope? Go ahead and find the slope of this line now. The slope of the line is 1/2. Now I can solve for the y-intercept by plugging numbers into my equation. 5 equals 1/2 times 2 plus b. What's 1/2 times 2? It's 1, so 5 equals 1 plus b. Solve that equation now for b. b equals 4. Now I can plug my numbers in to my equation. Y equals 1/2 x plus 4. A line passes through the points 1, 3, and 3, 7. Go ahead and find the slope now. The slope is 2. Now, plug in numbers for y, m, and x so that you can solve for b. b equals 1. Now write the equation for the line. This line is represented by the equation y equals 2x plus 1. Now try one entirely on your own. Find the slope, solve for the y-intercept, and then write the equation of the line. The equation of this line is y equals 1/3 x plus 2. Now try another. Find the slope, the y-intercept, and the equation for the line that passes through the points 1, 1 and 2, 5. The equation of the line is y equals 4x minus 3. You've done a great job on this video. Now it's time to go to practice. Go to tinyurl.com/practice925.